Hello everybody and welcome back to Spider Night Live. We are here with Oceanink Season 11 Week 2 back in Division 1 with Serotonin versus the other team that I have already forgotten even though it's been 5 minutes.
How could you forget? They're the usual suspects, players you would expect to be at this level. Let's check out those rosters just to get them on screen as well. We have had a last-minute substitution as well. Hazard has been transferred and will be appearing as X3N for Serotonin, I believe. So that's something to keep an eye out for as well. Yeah, looking good. Excited. Fresh blood on the roster and a lot of very talented players.
Yeah, a lot of these players are already quite staple names in the community as well. IceClear, Nex, Bread, Cuffie, Cookie, or the editor for Para. Like, there's a lot of homegrown names here. I think it's going to be a very close and very competitive set today.
Oh, that's what we're hoping for. We want to see those clutch gameplay moments. We want to see those tight sets. And we're starting with a Tower Control MakoMart game. I don't think either of these teams are going to give this one up easy.
No, this is probably a favored mode for both these teams, honestly, and for quite a lot of teams just in general. This is honestly just one of the better map mode combinations that are in Splatoon 3 at the moment. It's very open, there's lots of ways that you can potentially play this map mode. It is just also very flexible to many different weapon picks as well. It's just overall just a great mode.
And it's crazy, we're coming into this post-patch. We've had a patch come out a few days ago. So players have a lot of tweaks to their weapons that may be adjusting which comps we're going to see.
Yeah, we might see a bit less of pencil, maybe a bit more of the heavy edit in terms of cooler output, but we're going to see what happens right now as we head into Game 1 Tower Control. Pencil, Splash, Emperors, and CDS versus Dual Short Pencil.
That's an interesting set of weapons right there. I'm really keen to see the Emperors versus Vanilla Dualies. That could be quite the interesting matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup between Crab and Splashdown. One is obviously a hard counter to the other. The Gallagher is down extremely early here, and a Crab is already popped up on left stack with a flanker being dealt with in breakfast. They're gone now. So we've got a two-man advantage in mid with a cooler out as well. A strong start, to say the least.
Yeah, incredible jump out though, which means Serotonin, they have all the resources they need to stop this push. Tactical are only just going out for usual suspects. We have a few trades in mid there as well. With Zilly going to be able to push up onto the opponent's stack here. It's going to be hard for Cookie to stay alive. Cookie not able to do so. Jumps back for the rest of the team. Serotonin pushing that first checkpoint.
Absolutely, and with the whale going out as well, just going to pester out. Here come the Emperors actually with a splash down. It's going to be able to shred that Crab and just bump him off tower. Not enough to delay first check, however. But they have distracted the Gal enough. Splash goes down early. Dualies go down as well for the usual suspects. Lovely Zuko onto the pencil there. Serotonin are 3 up again.
Yeah, much harder to hit those indirect shots on that Zuka now, so those are even more earned than they were before. But Serotonin pushing up onto Snipe here. With some very nice dodging on this splatter shot. The rest of the team moving around the side. Crab Tank comes out to deploy a bit of defense and surprisingly does succeed. We have Ice picking up on the sides. That'll probably be a bit of a stall on Serotonin, but they still have control.
They still have control. That Crab goes down to a very well-placed splat bomb by the VDS there. It's an absolutely perfect placement. They're at checkpoint 2 now, Serotonin. Doesn't look like they are not going to get it just... Or they have cleared. No, they have not cleared check. They were only just able to start pushing. So 2v2 now on the side of Serotonin as both teams are just going to keep scrounging around for mid-control as that pencil is just going to keep applying that long-distance pressure that it's very well known for.
Yeah, we've also got the Dually Squelches here. Can provide a bit more pressure than a lot of other weapons because it has that extra bit of reach. Though not really dangerous, it is going to allow for turf. Snipe Rider is going to outrange it, however, as Frog is able to get that lovely pick. We've got another Crab Tank on boxes there on the stack. It's being pressured on the side. Don't know exactly how that fight's going down, but we've got Cooler in mid as well for both teams, which means we're about to see a real fracas.
Yeah, indeed, with Cooler up, it means you can pretty much dive in with no consequence and just be able to try and ego fight a 1v1 here, as we see a little bit on left stack right now. as people are just flying across the map with their cooler. Doolies goes down, shot trades out with the M-Parries. 3-2 now in favor of the usual suspects as everyone starts respawning nice and quick.
Yeah,
and now they've got a proof
really following around here. We do have it on auto, so I really just want to watch that sniper rider for a good minute. Yeah. With the jump out there, though, usual suspects, they've only got Ice left. Ice is taken out, and the wipeout is going to really cost them. That was their chance to get that checkpoint. Now with only 2 minutes left in the game, they are on the back foot, and they're going to need something pretty dramatic to turn the tide.
Yeah, indeed, that Zuka was absolutely vital in order to shut down that push. Gal gets caught out by both the pen and the crab. Is going to be able to stop him and put an end to that flank. Zuka's going to find the VDS. Zuka goes down, however, 3v2 on the side of the usual suspects now. Sprinkler on tower just to provide a little more pain. The Empress goes down extremely early, however, which means they do lose that splashdown and a lot of forward pressure.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty dicey at the moment. We've got 2 attacks coming in from Serotonin, 1 on either stack. It's really pressuring the team back into their base. Usual suspects don't have a lot of room to maneuver here. It could come down to the fact that they're just not able to deal with the pressure from the sniper.
Yeah, indeed. It seems like Serotonin Sniper Rider is just applying a bit more pressure. They do have a little bit more paint to work with as they have 2 shooters instead of versus the 1 of the usual suspects here. But the usual suspects
I wouldn't say that usual suspects don't have a lot of paint though. Double dualies is definitely going to be contributing to that paint. Ooh, a lovely fight around the sponge there is going to go in Serotonin's favor, which means they could potentially push this further. Not that they really needed a lead increase at this point, but they're going to take it if they can get it.
Second check down now with only 30 seconds left. The usual suspects need to make something happen here. Gal goes down early, which is good. Zuka isn't going to find anybody. The Doolies goes down as well. Now they really need to start pushing front here and just keep taking a lot of space. Lovely Dooley work by the Cookie.
That's beautiful.
On that pen, that's going to deny Cooler for ages.
If they hadn't landed that, they would have been in a serious spot of bother because there was a flank coming in from Serotonin. We do see the tower take with 3 seconds to go. Can someone get to the tower in time? No! It's not enough! The tower is contested and it was currently in control of Serotonin, so there will be no overtime for the usual suspects.
Unfortunate. They're very, very close in order, just for that last little push to try and make something happen there. Just a few seconds short to enforce overtime.
Alright, well, I mean, a good amount of back and forth between our teams there. That is what we wanted to see, but might take a bit of work for usual suspects to get their first point on the board. They do have counter picks available to them. Hopefully that will be enough.
The counter pick is already in, actually. We are going off to Barnacle zones.
Wow, that was lightning fast. I mean, it makes sense as well if you consider that some of these teams actually did pick counter-picking tools for their team, so they might have pocket maps that they have been practicing quite heavily over the last few weeks in anticipation of the series.
Yeah, indeed, and I think Barnacle and Dime really suits the double dualies playstyle quite well. You've got a lot of flanks to work with and quite a bit of open space in mid just to be able to dodge around and just be an absolute annoyance to try and hit.
Yeah, I mean, especially like splat zones on Barnacle and Dime, it's a bit of a nasty one because with the map update, there are a few more options for re-entry here, but generally speaking, you're going to be watching the one corner that your entire enemy team has to proceed through. There's a lot of places you can hide and be unexpected, and there's a lot of places you can dive out with some dualies to just steal a pick that otherwise may not have happened.
Yeah, absolutely. With this Tetris-shaped piece, it does make retaking a little bit hard. They have added in a few new ways, specifically on the left-hand side past Snipe, if you want to go in through the alleyway. However, that is pretty much your only alternative route, apart from just going through main or just going up high on the right side and dropping into plat. Lockouts here can be quite brutal. We are going to see what happens here as we quickly head into Game 2. Hazard has been subbed in for this match. No changes on the side of Serotonin, and there are no changes overall, actually.
No changes at all is a bit surprising to me. I would have thought for splat zones we might see something a little different, but let's see how this shakes out.
Indeed, we've already seen there's 3 members on the side of the usual suspects already behind mid, but they cannot compete with the turf output of the Gals. They take initial lead, but it flips quickly back. Crab out, both coolers are out now. And here comes the counter crab as well, but they have a flanker to deal with and is swiftly dealt.
Yeah.
Just making sure that
I mean,
is
I was going to say, an amazing job on the crab tank there, surviving. That was Para with the good dodges, especially because they had a whale on them. Whale very good at picking out crabs if they are not moving. Splashball comes out here as a good line of defense for Silly, and they're able to take a good fight there against the dualies. Now the team has a player advantage, so they should be able to get zone control as well.
Yep, there it flips away. This wall is going to be absolutely crucial for keeping both dualies away at the moment. However, speaking of which, dualies goes down to... VDS takes out the Gal. It's now 3-2 in favor of the usual suspects. They do able to retake zone, and now they'll be able to extend their lead, and as well as take down that counter.
Ooh, they've got Splashdown almost ready to go as well, which could prove pretty devastating if the opponent tries to retake too quickly. So hopefully Serotonin have their wits about them.
Indeed, Gal just getting a bit too greedy there, going into a 2v1 under ranged here, as we see Cuffie just holding off on the alleyway just a little bit longer, just trying to keep people at bay. Here comes Azuka. Not gonna find Cuffie. Splashdown's gonna find two, actually. Bird goes down as well. It's just pencil up on the side of Serotonin, and they do get the jump out safely.
A lucky jump out there from Frog, but I mean, look at the positioning here. Usual suspects have all the lines of approach blocked. This is what we were talking about.
10 ticks off in the zone.
Oh my goodness.
They have to go now.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to make it. Oh, they do! They get neutral! They get neutral, they're holding it. Zuka finds one on the zone as well.
It's 10 versus 10 dualies.
10 versus 10, the sprinklers.
They back out, they back out.
Penalty applied, that's amazing!
Oh my god, an absolutely clutch penalty there on the side of Serotonin, just being able to stop them straight in their tracks at one. Now they do have a lot of ground to catch up now as they slowly retake zone. They've got to deal with the crab now. As they're
that was a good
here comes
jump
the
out.
Zuka as well.
Very bad.
Oh, lovely Zuka shots there.
Lovely Zuka shots indeed from Hazard. They're going to be able to push up onto the opponent flat now. Hopefully they can find something. They managed to get ice mid-splashdown. Beautifully done.
That S2 genetics really coming in handy here, as it's only the pencil up for the usual suspects now, and Serotonin is going to be able to start their lockout.
Yeah, you can see the positioning here. We do have usual suspects poking at the enemy's defense. They've got two specials and they've got the Gal down. So now that they've got tactical, they're likely to rush it. Wavebreaker should be able to provide them some space as well, at least some knowledge around here. So we do see that coming out next to the zone. First Zuka shot doesn't quite make the distance either. I think that's going to be a cap, and it is. Penalty applied, and push stabilized.
IceClear very unlucky there to not find at least one off that splashdown. We do see the dualies here, kind of just trapped in alleyway. They've got two people looking at them. The other dualies does take the pick there. So Serotonin, the usual suspects are going to be able to hold zone for a little bit longer. Only 30 ticks left on the penalty now as zone goes back to neutral and gets recapped instantly.
Yep, we've got splash walls coming out in mid. We can see a lot more aggression from Serotonin now as they've decided they need it. We've only got one player left for suspects. Ice just getting away before gets picked off by the Snipe Rider again. This is looking like this penalty might get cleared here, but with a minute to play with, usual suspects just need to keep their calm and make this push happen.
Indeed, and they've already forced the crab to pop back so far away from the zone. They're not going to have a crab available for this push to come in. Here comes the defensive crab off Serotonin to try and keep people away. Here comes the splashdown to push the crab away. Crab's over. Zone back in favor of Serotonin. They're going to go down to 20 now. Ooh. Gal trades out with the VDS. Down to 15. 10 fights on
very dicey. Serotonin only need to hold for 7 more ticks. We've got people jumping in to neutralize the zone. They go down. That's it.
A clutch Zuka there is going to be able to... The Zuka finds 2 to be able to keep usual suspects off the zone for just long enough for Serotonin to take the recap and take game 2.
Oh, devastating. Getting down to 1 and then losing like that. I mean, usual suspects had to jump in at that point. They didn't really have many options left to them, but the fact that they were able to be cleaned out so quickly and on the zone really secured it for Serotonin.
Yeah, absolutely. We really see that Hazard Zuka is definitely a force to be reckoned with, especially in this match. If they're able to catch the dualies at the end of their dodge roll while they have that end lag, it's going to prove very effective to just remove people away from zones or just from areas in general.
Alright, well the scoreline currently 2-0. Usual Suspects having the next counter pick as well. Flat Zones didn't go well for them, Barnacle didn't go well for them. We can see what options are available to them. What do we think they're going to pick next?
Honestly, if they're running a double duelist comp, I would actually like to see, I think Clam's Hagglefish would be pretty good for them.
Well, I can say it's already come in, and it's not Clam Blitz. We're going to Rainmaker on Museum de Alfonsino.
Yet another good pick, honestly. This map is very, very wide, and there's a lot of verticality for the duelists to use to be able to dodge out safely. However, with the Zuka being able to apply so much range pressure here, I think that they might struggle just a little bit unless they change unless they have a comp change.
It's interesting, I was thinking with the nerfs we might see a couple less Zukas in these matches, but if players are hitting direct shots, it really does not matter that there's been that little damage buff to its exterior radius. They're hitting shots and they're doing fine.
I mean, yeah, if you're hitting your Zuka shots, then the nerf really does nothing to you. It only really matters if you are trying to 2-tap someone with the Zuka from a far range away. It just makes it that little bit harder and that little bit more inconsistent. But if you're just hitting your shots, you'll be fine.
Alright, well, can our players continue to hit their shots? We've got a lot of spinny rotators to worry about. I don't think that's going to throw them off.
No changes on the usual suspects, and no changes on Serotonin. We are sticking it again for a third game in a row.
These players are locked into these comps. These are the comps they've presumably been practicing with. This is what they know how to play as a team. But now there's no surprises left in the bag for the usual suspects. The double dualies clearly aren't phasing Serotonin, so they're going to need to start getting those splats and getting them much faster than they have.
Are the duelists still down left, by the way? I didn't see them jump out. They still just might be sharking. Oh, no, never mind. They were out on Splat somewhere. I think just jumped out, actually. It was just oh, Zuka!
The beautiful Zuka shot from behind cover. They knew they were going to try to take the short jump, and it was hard punished. What an amazing read. Someone clip that.
Someone clipped it. That's got to be in the next tide.
Absolutely, if we can get it. Absolutely. Alright, Rainmaker does push up pretty far for Serotonin, but they do not reach the checkpoint, which is really the sticking point here. With 2 players up, I don't think we're going to see much of an increase as well. A bit of a Sniper Rider duel across mid. Going to see a bit of a retreat now that Tactical is ready to go. And a reset to neutral here. Who can get more mid control than the other team?
Does seem like it is going in the favor of usual suspects now. They have a later cooler down as well, and it's 2 down on the side of Serotonin. Which means they are going to have that cooler for just a little bit longer. Lovely crab, by the way, just to be able to pick off that Sniper Rider with a direct crab shot. Zuka's going to come out now to stall a little bit of the push, but it's not going to be enough. Zuka's going to find nobody. Lead has been swapped over for only 3 points. Wait out the suction bomb and then go for the dunk.
Yeah, it was a blind Zuka. They took a guess with the timing and it didn't quite line up. We saw a lot more patience from the usual suspects than Serotonin expected. I don't think we're going to see any further extensions. It looks like all of the usual suspects have been rooted out of the enemy plat, and they're making a push straight to that checkpoint.
Absolutely, they are choosing to go up rampway as the spin away did not work. They are going to squid roll through. IceClear is going to get the pick, but not in time. Checkpoint is broken through. They are going to... IceClear is going to fight the pen in mid. Lovely pick, by the way. Now they're fighting the dualies as well. Where the hell is everybody?
Oh,
there's a push going from Serotonin.
Amazing!
All the way
Someone
down
was
to
fighting
38.
near the checkpoint, I suppose. They're able to get a lead from that. Incredible stuff.
Absolutely, a huge lead push all the way down to 38, which is quite a bit further away than you think, especially with 2 very closely combated teams. It's going to be quite hard for them to get through. We see a crab and whale being fired off pretty much simultaneously there. Here comes the flanking Zuka. Is not going to be able to find the crab and not going to be finding anyone. Hazard's pretty much caught out on a flank to Narnia and is still just dancing around.
Yeah, I mean, like, the Rainmaker's not going to progress because they know that they will get punished if they do, so it really lost them a lot of time.
It seems like the dualies were able to use that space and time created by Hazard to pick off the Rainmaker as well, which is a vital pick.
Yeah, trips to Narnia, useful for buying your team time and wasting the opponents.
Yeah, that's pretty much what that movie was about anyways.
Alright, we've got Crab Tank ready to go on mid for Serotonin. Usual Suspects, a crab of their own on the side of the map. We've got the Rainmaker reset, but not many players up for the Usual Suspects. A good job defending yourself there, but not really going to be much more than that. We don't have really anyone in Usual Suspects ready to push off of the player advantage there. So we're going to go into the closing minute with no major advantage for Usual Suspects to take advantage.
No, not really. A crab has been burnt pretty early. They do have cooler up, which is nice when they do go down. They have a breaker ready as well. Oh. They kind of need to deal with these duels on the shot on Spinner, however. Able to get a very crucial pick onto the Rainmaker. Is going to be keep stalling them for more and more time.
Alright, Rainmaker popped again. I imagine the intent is to have that reset.
Oh, no, pick up!
I mean, it's not a score extension. It was a very fun play, but it's cost them dearly. They're down to one player. We've got good positioning from Usual Suspects. The respawn has come in. Will they be able to stop the lead increase? Silly sneaks past the splashdown and gets right to the Rainmaker.
The Serotonin now have 3 members. It's just IceClear on those dualies now.
It's not going to be enough.
The last one up. They're going to have to buy some time for their team to come back now. They've only got 30 seconds left, and that was their push as well, which means they are going to have to repop and pick up again if they want to keep overtime chances alive.
Ooh, they've done it. Cookie's picked it up. The whale's in there, but
oh, Zook finds food!
Zook shuts him down just in time, and with no players really left to pick that back up, it's looking like an almost impossible overtime. Doesn't mean Cookie's not going to try. No, Crazy Frog taking it right outside the box. I don't think they're getting overtime. Some great movement there.
They were so close to finding that pick there. They had both the splash and the dualies on their tail, and they are just able to survive long enough to ensure that overtime does not happen.
Oh, that's so nasty. Serotonin only winning that one because they got the sneak play pass check. Otherwise, it would have been a very different story.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to win the game. But now, Usual Suspects, they have one task and one task only, and that task is reverse sweep.
Reverse sweep, it's going to be difficult, especially with all your counter picks spent. We have the last counter pick in already as well. We're going to tower control on Manta Maria for our 4th and potentially final game.
Manta does make a bit more sense here. Your VDS is able to work those grates a lot more and just be able to continuously apply their ranged output. No subs as well on the side of the Usual Suspects as well, so that means they are probably going to be sticking with the same comp again. And if you're Serotonin, there's not really any reason to change. You've won the last 3 sets with the same comp facing the same comp.
Yeah.
So you may as well just keep going with what works.
But do Usual Suspects have anything in their back pocket? I know they do this double dually comp quite well, but do they have anything else that they could pull out that might have an advantage on Manta?
I would maybe use an RPD just to be able to create a bit more space in bunker and grate and just have a bit more of a controlling presence, but I don't think that would slot well into their comp.
No, I think this is going to be a difficult uphill battle regardless. Well, we're heading over right now. These players very efficient when it comes to playing Splatoon. Let's get it started. Match point for Serotonin.
Zap instead of pencil this time.
Ooh, okay. A bit of a change. Maybe they'll be able to get coolers a bit more consistently now that they don't have to rely on the slightly reduced cooler output of the Snipe Rider.
Maybe it's not that. Maybe they just want something that can help them fight forward a bit more and just play your VDS as kind of like your backline for this map. It has been done quite before when cooler wasn't as popular in the meta, where you just have a more mobile backline, and then you'll be able to push forward a lot more easier, which is, I think, what they want to go for here.
I certainly don't hate it, but some excellent early picks are definitely going to put Serotonin in the hot seat here. Crab Tank gets taken out as well. That's all players taken off the board. And Serotonin with a full squad, they're going to be able to clear this first checkpoint no problem.
Yeah, as you can see, there is none of the Usual Suspects anywhere near tower. First checkpoint to go down without a hassle. We see a crab on the top of the bunker's wall here. Just going to be able to apply a lot of pressure. Zuka also for some blind shots. Not going to be able to find anyone. CDS is going to take the fight in mid with a dually. VDS does win that fight. However, the Serotonin do go remember down 2v2. Pencil v Dualies. It's got to go Pencil's way And the V-Dualies jump in as well to be able to take second check.
Unfortunately, usual suspects are getting splats, but the super jumps coming back in to back them up are coming in faster than the usual suspects can respawn. It's really costing them critical points here. This is already going to be a very difficult push to overcome if it doesn't knock out.
Yeah, Zuka's gonna find actually another pit. Oh, sorry, no, the Gal goes down here. Serotonin are finally forced to push back up now as they are down by 2 members. They have a cooler ready for respawn though, which means they are going to fight with impunity. Hazard goes down without cooler. Gal goes down in mid as well. Dualies goes down with more mid fights. And they're already back on tower, able to just keep it in street.
Wavebreaker should help them a little bit with discoverability here, but they don't have the range to fight the Snipe Rider anymore. They're just not able to take the fight to Crazy Frog.
Yeah, maybe instead you wanted to... You potentially, if you are going to run Zap, you might want to... The idea is to free up your backline spot away from Cool, right? So you can run like a Leader or a Hydra potentially even on this map. However, they're not able to do that as the VDS is the only person with enough range to be able to even contest Pencil, and so it's a very not favored matchup for the VDS.
I've learned a lesson from previous comms this season. It's that, I mean, a heavy would have done quite nicely here as well. If you're looking for that backline with cooler comp, that could have had maybe more range than the Sniper.
Indeed, we are seeing... Oh no, 2 go down on the side of Serotonin here. The usual suspects are going to have to start a push here thanks to the Crab, but they have Cooler up ready to go. Ooh. Here comes yet another Crab. They are running a double Crab comp, I have just realized.
Unfortunately, the flanking Sniper Rider is going to take all the wind out of their sails. They have to really double back to make sure they don't lose any more players. In the meantime, more splats going in favor of Serotonin. Usual suspects really not holding on as well as they maybe would have liked. They've got 2 minutes left. They really need to start getting some splats here and getting that player advantage.
Absolutely. Here comes Hazard. Zuka once again is going to find the splash, and with the VDS having a whale and to run away from a suction bomb as well, and the shot, they are going to quickly go 2 and not 3 down here. Serotonin are going to have another chance to push.
Hazard gelling perfectly with this team. An excellent substitution for Serotonin, has been doing such good work over the course of this set. All players on Serotonin cool it up and in great positions. We've got 2 specials coming out here to pressure. That's so much. It's almost overkill, but it is getting the job done. Hazard's able to use the tower to jump up into the enemy lines as well. Does manage to take one from the sneaky angle before Ice clears them out. There's not a lot left to go here for usual suspects.
Absolutely. IceClear's going to have to pop a Crab into a Sniper that is already gunning them down, and does see 2 flankers already going around to their bunker. Let's hope they are called out in time. They are going to get pinched by said flanker and the Pencil as well. It's going to be very hard for IceClear to take a fight out here. Does able to get a trade out with the other dualies. But Soleil here on the Gal is going to do a fantastic job as they wait for that Crab to run out, and they'll be able to take a nice pinch here. Para is unfortunately not going to be able to get one, but they do combo with the suction to be able to trade out at least.
Whale coming out here as well is going to give perfect intel. We've got 2 players up in the bats. It's going to be very hard for usual suspects to sneak past them now. Wavebreaker does provide some pressure, and they do get a 2v1. They need to take more fights like this, and they need to take them right now because there is 15 seconds left in this game. Sniper Rider goes down, but they were cool it up, so we will see them again shortly. Lots of shots going over walls here, lots of suction bombs to deal with as well. Crab Tank's well positioned, but are they able to find the players they need to find?
It doesn't look like it. Soleil is still up here. Para is having to pop a second Crab just to be able to stay alive. Here comes the counter Crab on the side of Serotonin here. It is going to get shredded pretty quickly. They are still on tower. 2 down on the side of Serotonin here. IceClear goes down. Here comes Azuka. It's not going to go into any effect. Usual suspects take a game.
Amazing work! An overtime takeout that was very, very impressive to pull off. It took a lot of specials, but we just saw usual suspects crowding around one part of the map. They were all looking out for each other. They were covering all the angles, and for the first time, they felt like an unstoppable force.
To mention Cookie's fit. That fit is absolutely fire. Oh my god.
Cookie always dresses for the occasion. It is a talent they cannot do without. Well, we have a point on the board for the usual suspects. They are probably cheering in their chat right now. But it means we're onto counter picks for Serotonin for the rest of this set.
Yes, indeed. Serotonin are going to have the rest of the counter picks, as if they win one, they've already won it all. The question is going to become, what does Serotonin want to do here?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? They've won Splat Zones and Rainmaker. I would say they won Splat Zones very nearly. Like, they got a 1-point stop. And then Rainmaker was only won by a sneak push. So I don't think either of those modes present a significant advantage for them. They definitely didn't have dominant control. So I could see a Clam Blitz, but also I'm noticing there are some maps on this map list that are a bit strange. Things I wouldn't normally see in a Splatoon 3 competitive map list. I'm thinking maybe those are their team's counter picks, and maybe those are set up specifically to throw off the other team.
The counter pick is in as well. It does seem like they are wanting RM Humpback.
Oh, Humpback, not Hammerhead. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yes.
Let me pick that one up really quickly. Okay, yeah, so that is a lot more sensible. Rainmaker Humpback is a map that we do see a lot more often. Why don't you give us a quick talking to with that while I fix the overlays?
Yeah, absolutely. RM Humpback is a very well-favored map. A lot of these players do come from Splatoon 2 as well, so they already have a lot of the strategies going to go through as well. The only new addition really is the checkpoints here at the window, I believe, and around elbow as well. Those are pretty much the only two options. You don't really see too many.
I wasn't wrong. Yeah. Humpback isn't on the counterpick map list for this set.
Oh, it's not?
It's not. The game is starting. I'm going to message the teams after this match. We'll just watch it and see how it plays out, but this might be an illegal match. We'll see how it plays out.
We see Gluke's Deco, however, from York.
Oh, that's fun.
The Bucket from Cookie as well?
Okay, yeah, really bringing out all the stops here.
Absolutely. Early pop is going to go to the usual suspects as well, really making use of their newfound aggression thanks to that zap and no pencil. Mid control is going to go in favor of usual suspects. Cooler is out of that Zuka, barely not finding anybody there. Dualies go down very early, but 2 down on the side of Serotonin here. We are going to have to see a very early suspects push.
Yep, they are going to make it all the way to the checkpoint and clear that immediately. The Killer Whale and a player down is going to make it a bit difficult for them to continue, so I don't think this will continue. We're probably going to see a reset to mid here. There was someone sharking on usual suspects. I did notice that. Someone was sharking right next to that Rainmaker platform, so we might see a sneak play here. Yes, we do! I knew it!
Here
Nice!
We go. Oh.
I mean, wasn't long-lived. Crazy Frog able to spot that one. I mean, they were in a good position to do so, but yeah. They were sharking, and they almost pulled what Serotonin pulled on them.
To find something.
Alright, Rainmaker is gonna struggle a bit to stay alive here. Splat Bomb does take them out. Cookie doing an excellent job shutting that one down. Slosher has so many good pieces of kit for this map specifically that it is not too surprising that I'm seeing it here. Suction Bomb on the Rainmaker to delay the pickup, but they managed to collect it regardless and escape the Snipe Rider's wrath. But we have a Zuka coming in from the side, and with the indirect damage is going to be able to clean that one up. It's one player up a piece, and the Snipe Rider finds the pick.
Full wipeout here on the side of the usual suspects. That Pen able to use their range to their advantage when fighting that zap here. As we see Azuka come out, is going to combo with the RM for a nice pick. They're going to be able to take this checkpoint pretty uncontested here.
Yep, they do have some pretty far forward defenders as well, so they should be able to take the lead in this position. They're just making sure here the Forgers go forward, doesn't find the pick, but the Rainmaker cleans it up. It's looking like they might not be able to get through here as cleanly as they'd hoped, especially with the Crab Tech in position, but they just bump the point marker they need, and they take lead.
Yeah, lead is changed absolutely huge. We do have to worry about this flanking Gal. It is Gal versus Bucket here. Strike's going to come out to try and flush him away.
Gal manages to sneak by. I did not notice that happen.
Must have gone on the long flank around the left way through window. Gal's actually just going to be able to hold the RM Pop as well, waiting for the entire team to respawn. They do let Pop go through, however, to just try to find a bit more neutral space. Crab is going to be coming out here onto the elbow, just to be able to buy a bit more time, and a safe jump out as well. That's a job well done for the Gal there.
Yeah, Yeah, some good stuff. We're going to see a reset on the Rainmaker there. Zuka's going to try and find some early picks to really decide the momentum of the game. Can they find anything? We've seen all 3 shots go out. Nothing really lands. We can see all of the usual suspects swarming around mid there, and all of Serotonin playing this nice and safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you're going double crab into double Zuka. You absolutely want those Zukas to find no one, and you want to keep your crabs alive. Bluga's getting a nice pick there. Crab's going to be able to clean it up, however. 3v2 in favor of Serotonin at the moment, as more jumps going to be able to come in. Gal's not going to be able to go too far.
Bold play to pick that one up. The respawn had plenty of time to get in position, so that was clearly just trying to move it to buy the team more time. Tactical coming out here. Rainmaker tries to land the shots. Crazy Frog picks up the splat before the Zuka can do it for them. And that's a 2v2 situation right now. This is dicey.
Absolutely. None of these teams are laying any ground, letting any ground spare. Crab's going to come out now with a minute left on the clock here. Usual suspects just need 1 point to be able to take lead. Bucket goes down extremely early. There go the dualies as well. It's not looking good for the usual suspects, that they're forced to back out of it due to the whale and the Zuka. Oh, he's just alive.
That would have been a splat pre-patch. That is incredible. Rainmaker's able to stay up. The team comes back into play. I mean, they could still do it. It's a very small margin. It is not going to be hard for them to take lead here. They just need a couple splats. Oh, they
Rainmaker
got one,
does only have 20 seconds left as well. They're going to have to keep pushing now. They've only got the time off on the clock. Blugas is able to find a crucial pick here. IceClear's going to have to push up to try and find a bit more space. Trades out, which is huge, but the Gal is going to have pop. It is just the splash and Matic. They are going to pick up. They have taken the lead.
That was lead. Amazing stuff.
Serotonin now have their last push to try and be able to find 1 point is all they need. They just need to get down to 50. IceClear here. You're going to take a 1v2. Zap goes down extremely early on the side of usual suspects here. They're going to be able to find the jump out, however, and just be able to say clear. IceClear's going to go in. Zuka's going to find a lovely pick here. It's just Para available. Para gets the pick!
Para amazing! They were farming special, but when they lost the players, they needed to push in, and they absolutely did it. Amazing work. Usual suspects take the point. That one, I think, is going to count because it was a Serotonin pick, and they didn't win it, so it doesn't matter that it wasn't on the map list. That's how I'm going to rule it. I think that's probably how we'll do it.
You are an admin, so I will definitely bow down to your wisdom there. See what people want to say. Yep, that's fine coming out from Serotonin's captain Micah here.
Yeah, the call out from the players saying we do not want to play Hammerhead, so thank you for letting us change that out. I mean, these teams can pick map lists. They are allowed to pick the maps they want. Hammerhead didn't have to be on there. I'm certain someone must have picked it because it's not on any of the other map lists this week. Anyway, that's been picked. We're going through the counter picks now. It is 2-3. We are seeing the potential for a reverse sweep here. Serotonin still have 2 counter picks to play with and 4 maps to choose from. Are we going to see Clan Blitz?
Sorry, I was drinking water.
That's okay. I can confirm we are not seeing Clan Blitz. Splat Zones on Sturgeon has been selected for the next map.
Yeah, a lot of these top teams really dislike Clan Blitz, which is really unfortunate as it is my favorite mode to play on. I just think it's very fun and very dynamic. This is how Krill
Switch got to Div 1. They play so much Clan Blitz that no one can face them. It's perfect.
Yeah, all you do is, if you main Clan Blitz, no other team is going to be ready for Clan Blitz. So hopefully, maybe in Game 7, we'll see Clan Blitz as a deciding match. That'd be pretty fun.
It's possible. Look, they're out of Splat Zones picks, they're out of Tower Control picks. No, they're out of Rainmaker picks. There's 1 Tower Control pick left, so we could skip it. But, like, you know, it's looking a lot more possible now than it did earlier. That's exciting.
I mean, yeah, if you want to talk pure odds, it's a 66% chance of picking Clan Blitz for the Game 7.
Oh, if it was picked randomly, but it's not, is it?
Yeah. But however, let's refocus back here onto Zone Sturgeon. Do you think that the usual suspects are going to keep their zap, or do you think they want to go back to the range advantage of their pencil?
I mean, it's been doing real well for them so far. I'd be surprised if we saw any weapon changes from usual. I mean, look, we'll probably see some less Humpback focused weapons, but generally their change in speed has really been working well for them. I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to see this pace.
Absolutely, and let's see if this pace is going to continue here. It is still Serotonin's match point. Let's see if anything's going to happen here. They do go back to the pencil, and they have a T-Tech now instead of the bucket so they can keep strikes.
Live by the pencil, get splattered by the pencil. We'll see how true that adage is as we move into this Game 6.
Indeed, Game 6 is probably, I think, the longest a set has lasted this Oceanink, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we haven't had too many close ones yet, so this is really exciting. I'm glad we got it on stream. Early play, we see one player going down on each side, rest of the teams taking a bit more of a defensive approach. Usual suspects using the crab tank in maximum range. Almost falls off the map there as well, but Para doing a great job in picking that up. That's going to allow quite a few points for usual suspects early on.
Yeah, absolutely. Para riding that high of being able to stop that push from last game. We do see Pencil up on top left. Able to find a lovely another max range pick onto that splash there. Gal's going to fight the Dualies. Dualies is going to take the win, however. Zone is just able to get flipped there as IceClear and the T-Tech are both now on zone. IceClear goes down and Cookie on that T-Tech is going to head back slowly as Serotonin's going to be able to recap zone. No penalty applied here as they slowly start a lockout.
Yeah, we do have Zuka's ready to go, and they will be used to counter the strikes here.
Two down!
Don't find
Three down!
3 down. The last Zuka shot goes wide and doesn't land anyone. Usual suspects are in a good position to set up on the high ground here, with only the Snipe Rider to contest it, and the Crab is plenty armored against that. Yeah, counter grab.
No, Crab goes down super early.
Oh my goodness, that's huge. Usual suspects using strikes as well because they've got them ready to go. They're going to be able to hold on for quite some time here.
And they're 2 down again on Serotonin.
Oh, that's such a long shot! Wow! Amazing!
Love
the control
shot
there to not dive at them immediately with the Dualies ice. Timing that perfectly to stagger out the opponent team.
As well.
Oh, this is looking very good. This is looking very good for a Game 7.
This is 10 ticks left now on the side of the usual suspects. Instead, the knockout neutral has been found, but Serotonin are 2 down. Gal goes down, who is the only person on zone. It's just Pencil going to be able to just apply chip damage, and they're going to get striked out as well. We are going to Game 7!
Oh my goodness! Reverse sweep could potentially happen. Game 7, let's go!
The reverse sweep is now real. It is now live. Usual suspects have taken 3 games back to back to back. Oh god.
The fist bump as well. This is exciting. The reverse sweep through all the counter picks. To go 3-3 is just crazy. Usually you see these games split up a bit, but to get 3 in a row then 3 in a row, how has the momentum shifted? What has changed between these two teams to cause this to happen?
Honestly, I think it's just a mental change here. Usual suspects, backs to their walls, have literally no other option but to win, and have just constantly pushed forward and pushed themselves all the way to be able to take 3 games straight, just like Serotonin did. Now, Serotonin do have to reset their mental now. It's 3-3. This is match point for both teams. There is no more after this. You have to leave it all on the table now.
Absolutely, and with 2 Clamblets and a tower control on the board, I'm very excited to see what they're going to pick. I think also the thing to note as well is that we are 3-3 right now, but all of these games have been close. All of them have been either overtime pushes or single sneak pushes. None of them have been washes, except for maybe that last one.
We'd also like to thank Amy for the raid here. You have come in at a very, very crucial time. It is now match point.
This is the clutch moment! You made it for the clutch moment!
We waited for the exact perfect time to ensure that a raid could happen. We are taking a bit longer than normal for the counter pick here. It seems like they are pretty stuck here on what they want to do.
And guess what? It's Clamblets!
Yes! Clamblets for Game 7!
Clamblets on Brinewater Springs, if you can believe it.
Brinewater is definitely not the map I thought was going to happen here. Pencil is going to be very, very dominant on this map. So maybe we will see that.
So
maybe
I don't think that advantages either team.
Maybe if you want to read into it, you could go Zap to free up your cooler backline and go leader here for even more of a range advantage. Which
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have.
Don't see any of these teams risking leader on a, like, 3-3 tiebreaker point. That's so crazy.
It is definitely a very risky play. However, Brinewater with its new expansions has been able to pull off a few more flanks than normal in him, actually. So maybe more flanking is potentially the way to go through.
Alright, well with only 10 seconds left for the weapons, we do have a bit more deliberation from these teams. We have been sitting here for the longest time out of any of the games we've had so far. The players are tense, but they're ready. Let's go to gameplay.
Here we go, Game 7, match point here for both teams. I absolutely love that animation, by the way, that was sick.
Don't have to tell anyone where I got that. Alright, let's look at these weapons. No real surprises here. I'm not surprised. Why would you take a risk? This is for the entire set. This is going to decide who's going to be sitting at the top of Div 1 and who is going to have the climb in the later weeks.
Absolutely, the early clam economy is going in favor of the usual suspects, 12-6 now. And they have 3 specials ready to go. Here goes the crab to try and buy more space. Both cores going to be able to get popped now. Zuga is been used, not going to find anybody, I believe. And Whale's going to come out now as well. Serotonin are 1 man up, 1 special up. Para's going to be able to already coat out. The strike's going to force the pen to go back here.
I don't think they make it to basket though. There's so much in the way right now. They need splats if they're going to make it there. Ooh, Para dancing with death. Tries to make it to the basket, but wisely retreats. I mean, they've got the clams that they need to start the push, but they don't have the splats. And they've used all their specials to take mid, so I think we're going to see Serotonin taking mid back now.
Yeah, absolutely. IceClear here, very well done to be able to get that ball back to safety as the crabs do fight each other, and it seems like not really anyone's going to go out here. Maybe the shot was a little bit of a casualty, but Strike's ready to go as well with a second crab on standby as well. Splash is not going to be able to find anybody on the early push in here. Let's see what Cookie can do if they are able to find any push in. They're going to have to back up because the Zuga
Cookie
poking your head out at the wrong time.
So risky to be poking your head out when you have a power clam like that. That's going to be so easy to judge your movements behind that wall. Usually the cover would provide you a bit of a visual smokescreen, but that power clam makes that impossible. I think they've still got a lot of clams. No team has really been able to get a push together at all at this point. With a 3-2 player advantage, though, Serotonin might be trying something. A trade on the side of the map's probably going to prime them for it as well. They just need a bit of turf here, and they should be able to do it. Yes, Crab is in the good position, and the dunk goes in.
Lovely, and we see that Penn was able to slowly push up there. They're already down to 62 now. Doolies goes down extremely early. Strike's going to come out just by a bit more time. Down to 53 now on the side of Serotonin. Sille is still scoring claims and still being an absolute nuisance in their spawn here as they head down to 44 and they finally go down.
Yeah, Sille definitely bought them an extra 20 points there just by, like, being a nuisance, distracting them, not going down. Like, didn't even have to get many splats to be a threat there. And it was finally dealt with, but, like, with the damage already done. Whale is going to pick up the power clam on usual suspects. Strikes are coming out a little early.
Oh, it's just Penn!
It's just Penn, but Penn can defend. Not against the Crab Tank, though. Crab Tank takes them down. The dunk goes in. The second power clam in position as well. Do they have any extra clams? They've got the pity coming in. That's going to be lead.
They go down to 40, even 34 now. Shot's going to be able to come in off the side here. Penn has 1 more clam available to go. Para's going to be able to come in with a few more. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. They're down to 19 now. Penn gets their clam in as well, all the way down to 16. 2v2 trades coming out. IceClear still has clams in.
No, the trade!
So they're not going to... Penn's going to find the trade!
Ah, if that wasn't a trade, that would have been another 6, 8 points at least.
9 points.
9 points at least, but no, they weren't quite able to make that happen. No knockout today, at least not right now. We've got Crab Tank ready to go on the dualies here. 1:30 left on the clock. Not a huge penalty between Serotonin and lead, but Snipe Rider's going to shut down that Crab Tank early and really provide the team with some gas.
Absolutely, that was a crucial pick. That crab was the start of Serotonin's push into their elbow here. Penn's going to be able to jump out quite safely, however, but they are giving up a lot of ground for Serotonin. Serotonin here, so they might be able to find another push as IceClear goes down very early on those dualies.
As it tries with the Zuka early, doesn't find any shots. The Crab Tank follows it up. Strike on defense isn't able to find anyone either. It's looking like Serotonin are going to be able to get enough ground here, but they don't have a power clam yet. The pity is available to them, but they probably don't want to use it at this point, especially when Hazard has 6 clams and is right in where they need to be positioned. I think... No, Hazard gets found out. Hazard's going to lose those clams for the team.
Yeah, Serotonin's clam economy was just not strong enough there. They weren't able to find enough clams in time in order to not use pity. And now the usual suspects, while it's still 3v3, they have a crab ready to go for another push potentially to try and continue to lower their points.
Honestly, they don't need many more clams at this point. A dunk to close out the game and end overtime is really what they should be aiming for. You can see they're doing exactly that. Crab Tank's going to provide them some space. They've got strikes ready to go on defense if they need them as well. Usual suspects looking for that opening, but they're taking more of a defensive position at this point. I think we're just going to see them hold the line here.
Indeed, overtime starts now. 20 seconds left in order to create something here.
Ooh,
2 down,
something!
3 down now.
That's
It's just the
something!
dualies.
That's absolutely something. The dunk goes in. It's just the sniper ready to defend. They have not quite enough clams at the moment, so they're going to have to do a bit of juggling to make it work. But they've got 5 to keep the basket open. They're so close. They just need one more clam. They've got it.
That's it.
Serotonin stopping the reverse sweep at the very last moment. They could not have waited any longer before losing the set. Serotonin take the 4-3.
What an absolutely insane set from both teams here. Serotonin able to take the first 3, usual suspects the next 3. It did seem like that was going to go towards the usual suspects in that last game, but Serotonin were able to clutch it out in overtime here to be able to secure their win and probably the top spot in Division 1.
This set was absolutely incredible, and if you joined in late, you are gonna want to rewatch this one. It was looking pretty dicey to begin with, but those matches were so close the whole way through. I mean, either of these teams could really end up on top. You know, we've got plenty of time for matches to swing the other way. Usual suspects proven why they're in this division, but Serotonin just snatching victory from the claws of defeat.
Yes, absolutely. Well played to both teams here. Those was probably some of the better Splatoon 3 matches I've seen recently, especially coming from the OCE scene. I think your dinner is ready, so I think we are going to quickly close up here. Also, just a massive thank you to Yessoan here, who is both streaming and commentating this set tonight. Just absolutely insane mad lad behavior.
Oh, and thank you to Crowboy for joining me. Not Cookie. Cookie's not here today. It's all Crowboy. We had such a good time. This was such a good set. And hopefully we can bring you some more sets either this week or in future weeks. So stay tuned to Oceanink for all your epic Splatoon action. We'll see you later.
And don't forget. Yes, see you later.
And what are we not forgetting?
We're not forgetting. We are not forgetting to send your clips in for the Tide.
Yes! Oh my goodness, absolutely. Please send in clips for Tide. Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night.